Um, there, there has been so very many studies conducted about what is poverty. We've done so many studies. We've engaged at policy levels, seminars, conferences. A series of discussion has been held about what is poverty. But in most cases, our approach to tackling poverty has been unipolar. It has been polarized. Why do I say so? I say so because most of our discussion has focused extensively on macroeconomic fundamentals. We look at institutional adequacies, we look at regulatory reforms, and so very many other interventions to alleviate poverty. It doesn't really work much. That got me thinking that possibly we have to focus and refocus our attention and research orientation towards another approach to tackling poverty. What do I mean? I'm going to pin this discussion down on two practical examples. The first one is a former student of mine who got married to a young man from another African country. On one of her visits to her mother-in-law's kitchen, she discovered a very special condiment. The condiment was special. She's not used to it. She hasn't seen it before. She came back to South Africa. She started doing additional research about the condiment and logistics around it. She started producing the condiment in her kitchen. Today, she exports it to at least 5 other African countries, including the country she discovered it from, and she employs a minimum of 50 additional people. She doesn't produce in her kitchen anymore. She now has a factory where she produces this condiment. She has not only lifted herself out of poverty, she's lifted 50 other people and their families out of poverty. Another example is a former World Bank employee who resigned his employment and relocated back to Nigeria. He went into farming. He started planting and buying ginger. He exports ginger to South Africa, to Dubai, and to India. He started with a market capitalization of less than $100,000. Today, the capitalization of his business is in excess of 70 million. There are so very many other examples like that across Africa. Recently, the African Development Bank suggests that agricultural and agri-processing will continue to grow in Africa at least for the next 15 years. If anybody wants to make money, go into agriculture, no matter how little. Why is poverty so important and why do we have to talk about it? It is important because it affects all of us, though in different ways and different magnitudes. Take for an instance, poverty makes it almost impossible for people to access education. Even if tuition is free, a poor family may not be able to buy a school uniform for the children or stationery that are needed in the school. How about healthcare? So very many people die just because they cannot afford basic medication. How about crime rate? Crime rate will continue to increase because people are becoming increasingly desperate just to earn a living, no matter how. As if that is not bad enough. Recent statistics from the World Bank suggest that in the very near future, precisely in about 5 years, 8 out of every 10 poor people will be from sub-Saharan Africa. This is huge, and this is concerning. Can we then do something about poverty? Yes, we can, and yes, we should. Let's go into agriculture. Let's start small and grow big. The recent African Continental Free Trade Area, which was created recently by the African Union, came up with extensive research over so very many years. The African Union have been on this for at least 10 years. But we're happy to announce today that Africa now has 1.3 billion market. Europe is interested in this market. Asia is interested in this market. North America is interested in this market. If we do not tap into this market and sell to Africa and produce for Africa, people will come from outside of Africa and produce for Africa, and will continue to be net consumers and not producers and not exporters. The platform has been created for us to take the destiny into our own hands, to liberate Africa from the total dependency syndrome. We can do it. We have to do it. Are we prepared to do it? If we do not do it, we will only live to regret it. To realize the kind of Africa we want, it is our collective responsibility. But more importantly, it is your responsibility. Please do something about it. I thank you.